Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I am 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until the sequel Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today in 46 days. Today I want to talk about Breath of the Wild a little bit again. I've been doing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom videos recently, but I previously already said that we're getting kind of short on topics. It is notable that today is my last day away, so this is another pre-recorded video. Maybe there have been tons of Tears of the Kingdom news when you see this video, but I haven't been able to talk about them yet because it is currently Sunday and I'm only going to be back tomorrow. So if there somehow was a big news drop, tomorrow is the day I'm going to be talking about when there's 45 days to Tears of the Kingdom. I want to talk to you about my current favorite speedrun. And in fact, it is actually probably my all-time favorite speedrun. I kind of want to advertise it a little bit, as not only is there potentially a major barrier that will still break in this game's life cycle, but there is also it's also a speedrun that I'm currently doing. So if you want to watch me do that live and improve my time, you can check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LimCube, where I do these runs right now. And that run is All Shrines. All Shrines is actually the reason that I am probably still speedrunning this game. And I at one point transitioned from an occasional Breath of the Wild any percent speedrunner to a full-time Breath of the Wild content creator. Now, when I first played Breath of the Wild casually, I really liked the game, but it wasn't like my all-time favorite game. However, when I was about to be done playing the game myself, I had a video in my recommended section, which was a Breath of the Wild any percent speedrun in 29 minutes by fellow speedrunner Rasen Runs. I really liked that speedrun. That speedrun used BTBs, a trick that we don't really see much anymore, where we essentially bounced on bokoblins to fly through the world from the Grey Plateau all the way to Hyrule Castle, and some tricks that I had at this point never seen before. And after just having played the game and really liking it, I got hooked and learned the speedrun myself. I had a good time. I ended up making a tutorial series because I enjoy explaining things to people, and that was pretty much how I got into the Breath of the Wild speedrunning community. Now, the thing is, while I enjoyed any percent, I was browsing Twitch and I saw a runner by the name of ZDI. ZDI was a Japanese Zelda runner who was doing All Shrines, a speedrun where you simply complete all 120 shrines as fast as possible. Back then, the record for that run was around like an 8-hour and 10-minute time at getting all shrines as quickly as possible. I watched that run and I was completely mind blown. I knew how to play the game fast and to beat the boss fights fast, but I wasn't aware of how much people had optimized the speed game for the full thing. Shrines were completed extremely quickly. Every single shrine had a unique strategy. It was super impressive to watch, and I knew that that's something I want to do myself. So I started learning it. Took me a month straight to write down the route myself, go over all of the shrines, and eventually do my speedrun, and it took me around 10 hours the first time I did it. 2 hours slower than the fastest time. I continue to watch ZDI to improve, learn to get faster and better at the speedrun until he eventually managed to do the run in under 8 hours, where people at the time, and this is something you'll hear people say all the time when it comes to speedrunning, were saying, All Shrines is dead. This is the fastest it's ever going to be done. Now, if you've ever watched some sort of speedrunning documentary, you've probably heard people say this. You've probably heard people say, this run is dead. And they were never correct. Now, I don't think they could have been much more incorrect than when it comes to All Shrines. The record for All Shrines right now is 4 hours and 10 minutes. Almost half the time that it took ZDI back then. Does this mean ZDI's run was bad? Not at all. ZDI's run was in fact amazing for the time, very clean and consistent, but the strats for All Shrines have changed completely. Now, why do I like All Shrines and why am I even telling you this? I think All Shrines is a perfect category for showing off the entire game, the entire overworld of Hyrule, while also being pretty fast and getting straight to the point without doing lots of extra unnecessary stuff. What do I mean with unnecessary stuff? Runs like all dungeons, while I do like them, which in Breath of the Wild, all dungeons means all divine beasts. That's just pretty much the term that we use in the Zelda community. They are pretty cool, but they have a bunch of cutscenes. Like for a run that's only 90 minutes, there's a ton of long cutscenes, and sometimes it feels like you're just in a waiting room. Where all shrines is just straight to the point, you do the Great Plateau, and then you just fly around destroying all of the shrines. In the past, we actually had to do 2 Divine Beasts in the All Shrine speedrun. Divine Beast Var Meadow to unlock the Warbler's Nest Shrine Quest. The Shrine Quest where you have to basically get these 5 birds together to then play them a song using a Korok leaf. And that quest is only completable after you defeat Divine Beast Var Meadow. And the Raka Tsunzo Shrine, all the way over here in Gerudo. This shrine is only completable once you start the Sensi ready here, once you complete Divine Beast Vana Boris. Now, both of these Divine Beasts no longer have to be completed in all shrines because of the Shrine Coordinate Warp trick, a trick that I talked about at length in my All Shrines No Runes video that allow you to enter shrines that are still underground. And the All Shrines speedrun route has now pushed that to an absolute maximum, where essentially you don't waste any time anymore with getting any shrine quests and just have glitches to get into all of the shrines super quickly. It's an absolute feast to watch, and I highly recommend it. Now, what I said earlier about there potentially being a new, oh my god, a new landmark in the All Shrines category is that currently Player 5 is one of the people running All Shrines. Player 5 is a name you might be familiar with, an absolute top runner for the any percent category. Okay, I just got rolled by this balloon. An absolute top runner for the any percent category, who has now also gotten the world record for all shrines, sitting at 4 hours and like 11 minutes or 10 minutes. But Player 5's sum of best segments, which means the fastest, the combination of all of his fastest splits is actually sitting comfortably under 4 hours. It might not happen in the lifetime of Breath of the Wild. Well, it will probably happen in the lifetime of Breath of the Wild, but it might not happen before Tears of the Kingdom. But one day a player will probably complete all 120 shrines using all glitches possible in under 4 hours, which is absolutely ridiculous. Again, thinking back to a time where a sub 8-hour run was considered the death of the category, just showing how much this game has like grown over time. But it's just really exciting to see my favorite category see so much love. That's the category that really got me into speedrunning for real, other than just any percent. And I highly recommend everyone to check it out. I will actually probably make a video on the category on my main channel, kind of breaking down all of the strats pretty soon, where I cut out all of the loading times and stuff and just focus on the things that are happening on screen. So keep an eye out for those. For that video coming out soon, if you're interested. And yeah, check out an Old Shrine speedrun, either on my channel or Player 5 or ITNT Pistons channel, who has revolutionized the way the category is played with really clever routing. Definitely my favorite category to watch and play. So All Shrines, check it out. Kind of wanted to talk about it today because that's been on my mind recently. I've been practicing the run. And that's my recommendation for you today on this random Sunday. Now, Tears of the Kingdom might not have shrines, but I'm sure it's also going to have a similar speedrun that feels more like a completionist speedrun. Maybe it's going to be all tiers. Maybe it's going to be all islands. Who knows? I'm excited to be doing it once it drops, which will be in 46 days. Again, today is the last time that I am recording a video while I am away. So if there's been any major Tears of the Kingdom news drop, I have missed it, and I will be back tomorrow to actually talk about it. If not, that's fine. I'll see you tomorrow anyway. I'm gonna be getting this Korok seed here as I wrap up the episode. Boom. And with that, thank you for watching and listening to my Old Shrines rant today. 45 days. Which is so little. Until Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow, we have now reached 95%. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.